Peace, peace. Happy now. Now is a vibrator course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Right now, the whole aspect of, that cancer energy, of course, it was spoken of in ancient times that again, that sun and moon conjunction, the sun and moon being in the same sign, and recently we just had the sun and moon in Cancer, and that really activates that Christ energy. But what I want to speak to is reason why we're being asked to, reevaluate our aspect of dealing with our ancestral lineage and, family, because some of us might have been on some go back to Africa vibes just off of what we heard and not what we really feel, or vice versa, you know what I'm saying? Like you might be wanting to stay off here off of what you were taught, but really you feel like you want to go to Africa or somewhere else, or it's like you might want to move around or go some places that, family might not want you to go or things of this nature, This may be a factor. 'Cause, things are shifting and changing, rearranging, Again, the world not coming to an end, but the world is shifting and changing, And as it's shifting and changing, a lot of us having these feelings and vibes again. We just went through this cancer energy having us, how do we feel, new ways of connecting on that family level and, an ancestral level, and what's going on in the home, And the home also meaning the bodysuit as well, But, yeah, just really, because that could be a thing of a person not moving somewhere, even though they know in their heart they want to move somewhere or go do something or, be a certain being. Instead of being a doctor, they really, really want to deal with holistic health and really want to heal people with some true energetic, healing instead of, giving people poison or something like that. But because your family member did it, you feel you got to do it too, or vice versa. You might be reconsidering a vibe where at first you shun the aspect of, connecting on the ancestral realm, and now you realizing to connect. It's so many different ways in that relationship, but again, just connecting and having that vibe. Reevaluating our relationships and connections on a family level. Who is family? The soul, is it because of blood or is it because of a soul connection? Because that's another reason we dealing with this energy too. Reevaluating that connection, what's really, of course family gonna still be family, in the technicality of it on the blood level, but again, it's like, dealing with, connecting with who resonate with you, strongly, again, on that soulful level, and a lot of us may be in that little vibe of feeling like, oh, I gotta be nice, or, try to maintain this connection,
like crushing it,
even though it's toxic,
so guilty.
Like try to maintain a toxic connection just because it's a family member, or maintain a toxic connection just because that's so-and-so who I grew up with. It could be, again, it could swing either way, but it's just all these dynamics of the relationship vibe, again with the home and family, because again, reason why I'm bringing up friends in essence, or that dynamic, because sometimes friends, again, like soul family, not necessarily nobody who we grew up in the same house with, or got the same nana or whatever, but just trust your intuition and your inner guidance with dealing with who you're dealing with moving forward. Trust that you're making the right decisions. When you feel that you are moving with your that inner guidance, because your higher self is looking at it from a perspective of it's not looking for at the perspective of a lower vibrational, fearful aspect. It's looking from a courageous aspect. You know, your guidance is never gonna be out of the fear of something else happening. Like, you know, if something telling you to make a certain action out of being scared of something, in most cases that's coming from your ego. But if the decision is coming about taking this action because I would love to take this action, then in most cases, you know, it's coming from your inner intuition. You know, like your intuition normally will tell you what you should be doing and it would never tell you what you know should be scared of in that essence. You know, like it'll tell you beware. You know, like hey, you know, watch yourself in this area. And then in most cases, when your intuition is so in tune, it'll give you the little hunch to not even go in a direction, so it even have to tell you on some late vibe, like, oh, beware, you know, like think about that, like, you know, you don't even get that far into a situation of like, oh, watch out, like where your intuition gotta like, you know, it's like, cause it's gonna guide you, you know, through the situation even beforehand, where it won't even get that far down the road, you know. That's basically it, you know. Now is the vibrates. The only thing that exists, the only moment is this moment. Not the thought in your brain about 2 minutes ago. And not thinking about what you're about to do in the next 2 minutes. It's about right now. You know, and look, we all on our growth. I'm saying that. And I'm constantly having to work on that too. Just because that's my intro don't mean I'm the master of being in the moment. It's definitely you know, constant growth, constant work. You know, matter of fact, again, me and the brethren just spoke on that. Even the primordial mother is still learning through us having this experience. So of course we're gonna still be, you know, learning from this aspect of it. So, you know, always know it's a constant growth. You know, we're never gonna be like this. Like, oh, all right, I done reached this mountaintop, now I'm good. You know, it's like, nah, it's a constant growth. You know, constant flow. Only thing that is constant is change. You know, but that's the whole aspect. You know, again, yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. And that's what I was gonna say. You know, we always growing. You know, don't ever, you know, stay away from the comparisons to other people. You know, we all got different things going on, different karmic energies we're working out, and these karmic energies coming up to the forefront very strongly, so we could work them out, so we don't have no heavy energy, so we could move forward into, you know, being in alignment with that true, you know, the higher self that we are. You know, the higher self that that I am. You know. But yeah, because you know it's getting real about, you know, us having a certain, you know, a certain release of energies, you know. And again, I tell, oh, be scared or nothing, you know. No, don't be, you know. Again, just constantly work, we're constantly growing, and also, you know, too, this came up dealing with the relationship vibes. You know, realize, man, we're constantly growing. You know, because one of the reasons why a lot of us be, you know, and this came up on another video, but I spoke to this before as well. Matter of fact, shout out to Brother Rich for having that video with it was Queen of Fool, Red Pill, a few other people, man, and just speaking to that whole wide spiritual people, you know, always find themselves to be you know, lonely. And again, a lot of time it could be that mind frame of like, oh, well, when I get perfect, then I'm you know, get a mate. But it's like we constantly growing, so you know, when will we ever be perfect? And again, sometimes we slip into these modalities and things of this nature where we kind of forget that, you know, that vibe. But you know, again, it's like we all constantly growing, you know, so you'll be waiting forever to get that message. You know, now is the vibrate for a reason, you know. again, that's back to almost like waiting for external thing. Even somebody hit me with that sauce too. Uh, like even with like how I spoke on, like, because I got the energy to transmute, say for instance eating unhealthy, you know, I do it, on the strength of that. But it's like almost like indirectly, like subtly, almost like that waiting for Christ to save me energy. It's like, oh, my superpower is gonna save me, so I'm gonna just do whatever I want on some somewhat going backwards ass shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no. And that's how logical reasoning could kind of step in, and logical reasoning could be slick enough to find any little way of making whatever you're doing seem like, oh yeah, it's right. And that's why I should never come from the thoughts and that sense of it, more so an urge from inside. But again, it's a constant growth. So yeah, back on that relationship vibe, never forcing anything, always making sure it's in alignment. But we all, again, I said, and we all on our constant growth. So it's always gonna be a growth, and also making sure that we aren't in that vibe of like, oh, I'm so perfect, or I'm like the most light being of light beings. Nobody can step to my level. Oh, all right. The universe gonna be like, well, yeah, nobody can step to your level, so you should be, by yourself, since nobody could, since you feel nobody could share your space with you, and and then at the same time, again, like, it's having that vulnerability, and we all growing. And as I say that, it's all, look, we all growing. We gotta realize that's why it's like letting go the ego, because sometimes we could be stiff about not wanting to realize something that we have to face in order to grow, and break out of a certain pattern that we know in our hearts we don't want to be in. Like, if I know I don't want to be, then I'm gonna acknowledge, whatever I gotta acknowledge to help move forward. And again, there's a constant growth, and some of these things are a little tough to face. But again, the pressure makes a diamond. It either bust pipes or make diamonds. And I want my little light of mine to shine. That's the whole aspect. Again, not trying to force anything either. Again, whether it's relationships on any vibe, but yeah, definitely on the companionship vibe. Allowing for, that, again, the synchronicity comes with everything. Where it's just everything gonna fall into your lap as far as the situation with you and that person. It's just gonna flow, so like where y'all neither had to like overly try. And always remember, it's about accepting each other for how we are. You never want to feel like I gotta change something about myself to be with this person, because then that automatically says that, of course there are certain aspects where we meet each other halfway on, hey, I do this and that. All right, I'm cool with that. I do this and that. All right, I'm cool with that. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that aspect as well. Again, realizing we don't own each other, and it's not meant for us to, try to change each other either. We should be being with somebody who lines up with, the energy that we lined up with, and always realize, again, we're not going to build a bear, create a Ken doll or a Barbie doll and make this perfect, like, the only perfection is being at peace with the imperfections. You know what I'm saying? Like, this realm is a place where you could try to say you're not gonna eat meat as far as you're not killing nothing, and then a vegetable is still dying. Photosynthesis is a living thing. A vegetable still transitioning too. Fruit still transitioning. And I get the energetic thing behind it, but again, it's like this realm is just, you every time I detox my body, I'm, a certain cell might have to transition, or something like that. It's just the parody of this realm, but again, tapping into that intuition, and looking into those different realms of how we deal with the family and the home aspect. Because home may not necessarily be within within the necessary building, but just Again, home also talking about what's going on inside of us too. First and foremost, I should say, not two, but first and foremost. But that's basically it. Peace, peace. Happy now. Now's the vibrator, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Stay lighthearted, y'all. Stay in the moment. This is the only thing that exists is the moment. You know, remember those resilient moments. Trust that high self. You know, trust in your inner guidance. Know that you are your high self on the human experience. And you know it's about trusting in yeah, trusting high self, trusting the universe. Peace, peace, y'all.